Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the studio live stream Monday all weekend. Got all three of us boys here
We
tonight.
are here. Yes.
How are you guys feeling on this Monday evening? At 7
Pretty
p.m.
good.
Eastern
Pretty good.
Standard Time.
Why you gotta is
Because people are
standard
watching
Eastern
all
time?
Why you
around the
gotta
world.
dox? Why you gotta dox our time board like
Our
that?
time zone.
Yeah, our time
It's
zone.
also
man.
New York time, so we could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Josh was the one who docs us in podcasts. He's like, "Oh, we're no longer in one place. We're in all these different places." He lists
You're
them
just
out.
you're just stressing because that comment I made on the podcast. I'm like, Joseph is in a different place mentally and physically, and
No. So yeah, we got a couple interesting things that we're talking about this evening. Do you guys want to kind of lay it out as far as the two topics we're going to be going through?
So 2/3 topics, I guess. We really wanted to talk about the upcoming film or the film that came out this past weekend, The Sound of Freedom. It
Mm-hmm.
is Angel Studios movie that I just learned actually. Disney used to own the story, and Angel Studios actually bought it from them,
Mhm.
thinking that they weren't going to do anything with it, and it is now the number one movie right now. And
It is.
yeah. Oh, even over Disney's Indiana Jones that just came out. Indiana Jones, what, 5?
Yeah, something like
And
that,
Yeah.
which honestly is nuts. That's
that is
absolutely
crazy.
insane.
That is crazy.
Also, I believe it's outperformed The Flash as well.
Yeah.
So,
It's for some reason,
interesting.
it's just like skyrocketing. Everybody's going to watch it.
At least
And
the opening box office.
Yeah.
I don't know how the movie is done farther than that.
Right.
And then we
So-
also wanted to talk about a little bit of Deadpool 3. There's some news that has come out about that, or at
Right.
least some photos.
Right. So yeah, I guess we should probably start with Jim Caviezel and The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, I've never
Right.
known how to pronounce his name either.
Jim Caviezel, I know that's right.
Is it
because
Caviezel?
Yeah, because I've worked on the YouTube content for a couple videos through
Caviezel?
my company. Jim
Okay.
Caviezel. If you
He's
don't know him,
the-
he's the guy who plays Jesus in The Passion of the Christ.
Or
Oh.
also Dante from Count of Monte
Dante.
Cristo.
Yeah.
That's
Dantes.
true.
Edmund Dantes.
Edmund Dantes, that's his name.
Mhm.
That's
From the Count
true,
of Monte
actually.
Cristo.
You know,
The
I
one that
always
was,
forget that.
Henry Cavill played his son.
Henry
That's
Cavill should have.
crazy.
Yeah, what's up with the Count of Monte Cristo and just having like a stacked unknown cast for the time?
That's such a
You
good
know?
movie.
Who
I
Such
don't
a
know.
played the
Guy
villain,
Pearce
though?
was known. Guy Pearce.
Right.
I don't know who Guy
Mm.
Pearce was.
I mean, I didn't until I watched the Count of Monte Cristo, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah.
I was. It had already been out a good while before I watched it.
Since we're talking about The Sound of Freedom, is there a chance you could pull up, go to like Rotten Tomatoes? I would like to look up some reviews because we were talking about this last night with
Right.
John Mark, and he was saying that all the critics are hating very heavily on this film. They're saying
Right.
like it is a right-winged, like
Ties with QAnon, things
yeah,
like that.
it's
That's
not good
nuts.
at all. So I would like to pull up a few reviews. I'm just curious what
Right.
the
Let's see
people who
what
are
we got.
viewing the film, what are they saying?
Okay, so you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right. So Rotten Tomatoes for the critics, it sits at a 75%, whereas the audience score is 100%. That is significant.
That is significant. I
We
would
gotta
say
go watch
even
this
with
film.
what 24, 34 reviews for the
Let me go
for the
back to see what
critics,
this is. So,
that's pretty
The
high.
24.
okay, so
Yeah.
verified audience, all audience. Wow.
Mhm.
10,000 plus ratings,
Yeah,
99%.
that's pretty impressive.
That's really
Verified,
good, especially for Angel
100%.
Studios.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, this is just another example of Angel Studios investing
Mhm.
in the right stuff.
Yeah.
And 75 is not good. It could have been worse, I guess. So
Yeah,
do you want
and
to see some of
and
these
I
what they
believe it's
say?
still
Yeah.
developing. I think we're still seeing critics talking about it. I think if you're a smart critic at the
Mhm.
moment and you disagree, I think with kind of maybe what's going on with the whole situation, maybe you're not uploading a review for this one. Because
Gotcha.
it seems like from other outlets, the reviews from, I would say more liberal leaning, um, reviews
Right.
are very negative, and
Yeah.
it's
And
also sparking a lot of controversy with general audiences who enjoy the movie. Are
right.
saying, "What's the problem here? Why are we not promoting a movie that is against child trafficking?
Yeah.
Right.
What's
Right.
why are we uh, criticizing a movie that's about something that's good, saving
Right.
Yeah.
children from this kind of stuff?"
Now, I will preface, us three, we have not
Mhm,
seen the movie yet. We have friends that watched it and said it was good,
mhm.
and we should go watch it. And we have plans. I would like to go watch it and talk about it on our podcast, but we personally have not seen it yet. So I don't want to be like, okay, there is something that we disagree with in it,
Right.
and we have not seen it.
Right.
We're
Right.
looking at reviews and we're like, why is this such a big controversy right now, and why
Right.
is
Mhm.
it going to number one?
So let me read. I'll read like this top squashed or whatever this
Mm,
bad review. While the cinematography and acting are solid, the way
mm,
the trafficked children are depicted is made too explicit.
To
Is made
exploit.
to exploit our emotions, and the end credits explain why. To continue the Operation Underground Railroad. Um, I don't really understand why
Well,
children like what freaking why you're not exploiting children, you're telling a true story.
yeah.
yeah, and
Children are being
I mean,
exploited not by this
far be it
movie.
from me to, um, I don't know, make an assessment of kind of a situation, but is it not meant for people to feel emotional about this kind of thing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? Is it not meant for people to look at it and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is a bad situation. Maybe I should get involved. Maybe I should
Yeah.
donate money. Maybe I should invest some time and some effort into this." I don't think that's exploiting these children. I think it's a way of showing people that they're being exploited.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And
Read a couple more reviews.
okay. One person just says a solemn drawn out bore. That is not what I've
Okay.
What?
heard. I've heard that it
Like,
is
no, yeah.
extremely intense and not
Mhm.
boring at all.
Mhm.
um To know thousands of adults will absorb sound of freedom, this vigilant,
Vigilante.
vigilante fever dream,
Mhm.
and come away thinking, this is a vigilante fever dream, I guess, and
Mhm.
comes away thinking themselves better informed on a hidden civilizational crisis. While it's profoundly depressing, worse still, they want to spread the word. I don't yeah, whatever. This doesn't really. Where do you think people's point? Like, where are they coming
I
from?
don't know.
Why is this being hated? Is it because it's under Angel Studios? Because I also heard.
Maybe.
So I heard this. So
Maybe.
check this out. The guy who this is actually about did an interview with Fox that I watched today, and basically what he said was that a handful of years ago, back when Disney bought 20th Century Fox or a handful of the rights for it, apparently, 20th Century Fox licensed the story to
Mhm.
do this film a long time ago, and then Disney bought it and then killed it. They
Yeah.
killed the story. They killed the plans to do the film. So they
Right.
just held on to the rights. Why Angel Studios is doing it now, so many years later, is because the rights period just ran up and Angel Studios bought it. And the guy that the story is about is the one who told Angel Studios, "Hey, this is about to I know you're working on Chosen and just trying to get projects off the ground. This is about to become open for your purchasing if you want it." They
Mhm.
made a deal and in 5 weeks, and then got this film made.
Wow.
So Angel Studio, like Disney,
That's solid.
held on to it to just
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't happen, which is nuts. I mean, that is some dark.
That's kinda villainous,
That's,
Yeah.
in my
that's the thing.
opinion.
I don't know where people are even coming from
Mhm.
to criticize this movie. This is about
I
saving children. We're not
I
even
don't
Right.
talking about
Mhm.
women's rights, pre-birth. This is living children
Mhm.
that are here. You can
do
look at, you can touch, you can hug. How are you anti this movie?
do you think, that maybe it wasn't like a villainous thing, maybe like Disney. I mean, I don't did give Disney that much credit, but, you think during the era of, like, The Taken and kind of those kind of movies that were coming out, they bought this and then or they bought it on the heels of that, and then that kinda faded out, and nobody wanted to see those kind of movies anymore, and that's what they were trying to do is almost turn it into, like, another Taken or
Right.
something like that, and
Mhm.
nobody wanted to see that anymore because we had seen, like, 5 Takens at this point, and,
Mhm.
we're like, "No, enough of this." So that Disney's like, "Okay, we're not gonna do this because I know it probably won't sell anymore, and people don't wanna see this," and they just kinda let it go. Do you think that's what they were doing with it?
I and they would never admit to this, but I'm suspect of something a little more sinister than just audience being bored of a genre. I think it is because, um, I should really look up the man's name. Like, who do you guys know the guy's actual name? Who this is
No, I
about?
don't.
Mm-mm.
I know. I literally watched an interview earlier today. Let me see who. Let's see, Tim Ballard. So I happen to think this is my opinion that Disney didn't do it because Tim Ballard wanted it to be overtly his faith in
Mhm.
God is what drove him to
Yeah, maybe.
do this work, to actually go
Yeah.
and save kids. It was his moral grounding. And I don't think Disney wanted to make an overtly, you know, Christ focused mission
Right.
with that as at the heart of the project. So that's what I think. I mean, Angel Studios is the perfect
It
studio
is
to pick this
perfect.
up,
Yeah.
which is also crazy that it really doesn't matter how long your studio's been around. Ain't this movie with Jim Caviezel, who's popular from The Passion, right?
Mhm.
But hasn't done a lot of work because he's kind of been blacklisted because of his faith and because of his role playing Jesus. He
Yeah.
hasn't been able to get a lot of work. But him, who's well known in circles, especially in Christian
Mhm.
circles, Angel Studios, who's really known in Christian circles, and then this Tim Ballard guy who has an overtly, Christian message, I guess. He they come in and they knock the Disney's fifth Indiana Jones movie out of theaters, not really out of theaters, but just crushing it,
Mhm.
overpowering them. Like, how
Yeah.
many weeks has it been out? 2, 3? How many weeks is
I wanna say 2. I'm not
freaking
exactly sure. Let me look it
that's
up for you.
that's really not good. If a movie that Angel Studios, which is like a studio that's been around for officially like 2.5 years,
Mhm.
and they can make a bigger, more powerful, impactful, and absorbed film than Disney can in the theatrical run. That's pretty intense. Also, I think I don't know if you guys has noticed, but their Sound of Freedom, and I think this is kind of Angel Studios' marketing plan as well because they're smart. Like they're getting the actors and the Tim Ballard and they're getting on everybody's podcast. They're getting on everybody's show.
Yep.
Have you noticed that?
Mhm.
They're promoting this everywhere. I mean, the company I work for, Jim Caviezel was on our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're literally going everywhere to tell everybody about this movie. Whereas, like, what does Disney do? They spend $200 million and just run paid ads in front of
Mhm.
everybody's face for a month or 2 months and expect
Yeah.
everyone to watch it.
June 30th was the release date for, uh, Indiana Jones.
So
So
it's
2
been
and
a
a half,
week.
like no.
Well, yeah, it's only had 2 weekends.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
2
2
weekends.
Yeah.
You're right.
weekends.
Yeah.
2 weekends, and, so its second weekend, Sound of Freedom crushed it.
Mhm.
That's pretty
Mhm.
that's pretty impressive. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And honestly, what I've heard about Indiana Jones, they deserve it because
It's not
Indiana Jones
great.
apparently sucks.
It's not
Yeah.
great.
I'm gonna make people enjoy the Crystal Skull.
What have you guys heard about Indiana Jones stuff? Any word?
Um, it's not good. I've heard it's obnoxious. It's derivative. It's characters are badly misunderstood, like the original kind of Indiana
Right.
Jones characters. And then I guess just kind of they're doing what they do, is add a new character that's insufferable
Hmm.
and uh basically kind of just killing Indiana Jones.
Which is honestly extremely
And
sad,
and not just killing Indiana Jones, but killing his legacy.
Right,
Like
right,
Mhm.
it's what they do with these franchises. They take an older character, they show them as an old person, and they're like, they were kind of a terrible person throughout their life as well. It's like,
right.
no, they weren't. They were the hero.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I've heard that, this is round 2 for just
Mhm.
destroying Harrison Ford because they
Mm.
did it, Kathleen Kennedy and the Disney crew,
Mhm.
the modern Disney Lucas crew, did it to Harrison Ford's Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is round 2, just completely, and I heard, Gary from Neurotic put it in a funny way. He's like, "This is round 2 to basically completely, I guess, emasculate a legacy character to prop up another,
Mhm.
brunette British woman."
Right. And even
Sheesh.
in even though I enjoy the Blade Runner movie, he's not in it much. I wouldn't say it destroys his character.
No, not
Uh,
really.
he's not in it enough, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's less of a destruction of a character in a
Right,
movie. But even still, it's not as good as it could have been.
right, right,
His character, at least. I enjoy a lot of that movie.
right.
Mhm.
And, I don't know, Joshua, have you heard any reviews or any interesting takes on I mean, it could be, either about Sound of Freedom or, Indiana Jones 5,
I've
whatever.
heard Sound of Freedom is very good. I would like to go see it and talk about it on the
I think the
podcast.
Rotten Tomatoes score speaks for itself.
I have not
Mhm.
seen it yet, um, but I have plans to. I think it'll be good. I have
Mhm.
not heard anything but negative about Indiana Jones. I know he's had controversy and they wanted to go the female route, but I think they would have just done good to just let Shia LaBeouf kind of pass the mantle and then end the, Indiana Jones franchise
Right.
with that and just like end it. But no, I guess that's not what they're
I
doing.
mean, honestly, I feel like I would have rather seen a standalone Shia LaBeouf as Indiana
Yeah,
Jones
I would have too.
type character. Clearly not Indiana Jones. Obviously his own character.
Yeah.
Try to be Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
Or
even if
even if he comes in kinda towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, even if like they played it safe and did the tropey thing of, you know, Shia LaBeouf tries to do the Indiana Jones thing and
Mhm.
falls short, and he's like, I'm not good enough," type thing.
Yeah.
Do that character, and
Yeah.
then that's the movie. I would have liked that more than what they're doing, but
Mhm.
Disney does has its own thing, and they have to, make every character have a female character to pass on
Well,
the
Which,
mantle to.
right,
like,
right,
and like, I'm sure we've reiterated this a million times. We don't care about like a female character. She just needs to be a character, like a real type
Yeah.
character, not a
right.
fake kind of. They try to make her everything, and they fail at. It's like what, like they don't know what she is. Is she a
Right.
con artist? Is she a femme fatale? Is she an archaeologist? Is she like what does she do? And they don't actually nail it down.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so they just kind of, it's like they couldn't decide.
Right, right.
So I think in the end, she just kind of comes out as being an unlikable derivative of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, so I mean, you're right. I think overall overall, everyone's tired of Lucasfilms. I think everyone's tired of Disney,
Yeah.
period.
Mhm.
And who knows what's gonna come of this? Do you guys think Kathleen Kennedy's ever gonna get fired? I mean, there's like no more for her to ruin, isn't it?
Probably not.
She's probably gonna be asked politely to leave.
Or
Probably
she's just gonna
not.
say, "I'm gonna step down for family purposes."
Yeah, I've got I've got relatives to take care of. I got stuff to do. I'm stepping down.
Right, right.
You know.
Yeah.
For personal reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that has come up in the news or in the internet sphere is Harrison Ford, Hugh Jackman and his Wolverine.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Do you have
I
those
did
pictures
yes,
at all?
I did want to, pull up this article because I have a totally different page. Give me 1 second. Here I go.
Okay.
I'm
So
still
just to
learning this.
reiterate, we've heard for a while, and they made a kind of an announcement trailer that Hugh Jackman is going to be reprising his Wolverine role in Deadpool 3.
Right.
We all knew that, but what that was going to look like, we don't know. And they kind of came out with some photos this
Yeah.
week that it kind of shows us a little bit. He's got the yellow suit here.
Well,
Isn't
from
this
what I
like
understand,
classic Wolverine?
it is. From what I understand, didn't Hugh Jackman release this on his Instagram?
I think so.
And it
That's
was
what I
just on his Instagram,
said,
right?
but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about that. Comment in the chat if that's not true.
Interesting location. It looks kind of like a quarry that you would have in your hometown that you
Mhm.
would film your home movies in, like
Right.
your
Right.
own like indie horror movie.
Right. Do you think there's gonna be an interesting, I guess there is because it's Deadpool, there is gonna be kind of
Mhm.
an ironic nature to this story, but how
Yeah.
well do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
Hugh Jackman's going to play along? Because he played a very serious Wolverine in all of his movies. Do you think he's going to, you know, s act across Ryan Reynolds playing
It
Deadpool as well
it
as we hope he will?
He'll probably be the seriousness to the silliness of Deadpool and
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds. So it'd be serious, like good cop, bad cop type thing.
Right, right. So
Mhm.
you think we'll actually see, him almost not participating in the silly. But I don't know, this
Yeah.
outfit
Yeah. Maybe. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
assume that this is a different version, like a different version of Wolverine.
Mhm.
The outfit's not like that outrageous compared
No,
to
it's just very
No.
bright.
some of what he wears in the comics.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That's why I was saying this is more like classic
but it is
Wolverine.
classic. It's
Yellow.
Right.
classic colors. It's a
Yeah.
classic kind of look. And I mean, without the mask, obviously, I still
Mhm.
think he needs the mask to kind of complete the ensemble of the costume.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see a Wolverine that maybe is a little bit different than the one that we know.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Maybe has different experiences, different, what
Yeah.
would you call it? Different kind of way that maybe different X-Men type
Right.
experiences.
Right. So, I mean, the one thing that I think is missing, or they kind of, like, changed it, is he
Mhm.
Mhm.
has blue accents. Wolverine
Mhm.
has blue accents
But
in from the
it's
comics.
bluish black. I mean, it's more black, and I think it's just a reflection, maybe.
Well, no, this is very I mean, this one, it looks a little more black, but all of these is very clearly
No, yeah,
blue.
yeah, yeah. It is
Oh, I guess
blue.
there is a little blue in there.
But they
Go back
chose
to
to
Yeah.
go
the
black
go
in
back
I
to the
think
this.
it's
picture
I wanna
of
say it's probably a dark blue in the picture, in the
yeah, go
costume.
back to the live
It's
action
not a super high res
one that's gonna be
photo.
in Deadpool.
1 second. Ugh, okay.
Click on it.
I wanna say
Oh,
that's
yeah, there's no
dark
blue in
blue.
there.
I
Yeah,
wanna
that's
say that's
black.
dark blue.
Well
Maybe. You can't really tell.
Look
oh,
at his
yeah,
shoulder
yeah, you're
pads
It
right.
might
compared
be,
You're
to
yeah.
right. This is
Deadpool.
blue right here. So these are all black, but his shoulder pads,
Shoulder
his arm
pads,
pads,
Solid.
this top
maybe
like the
down there
little
around the
side,
waist. Yeah, the accents. He's got blue
he
accents.
also has black accents, like under the arm, that's all
Mhm.
black.
That's
This
solid.
little rib cage area, that's black.
Yeah.
Is
So
this
there
the
is
only
some
photo
blue
you
in
have?
there.
Because there was, like I know there was at least one more with just like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool
No,
on
I think this is
set.
the only one I
I
found.
didn't
Okay.
see.
There
So
was
this
one of
is
him on set I
yeah,
saw.
this is
Okay.
Hugh Jackman's, story post. He wrote, "Don't blink." and the two of them next to their little GIF characters.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is all that's been released, which is it's pretty impressive. I it's going to be a fun diversion from all the different Wolverines that Hugh
Mhm.
Jackman has played. I think it would be a good time. I think I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm not really upset or really critical of it at this point. I think it's just going to be
Right.
fun. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I mean, I saw a tweet of somebody, I don't know who said it. It might have been Gary who said, um, maybe Disney can kind of make up some of the money that they lost with the $70 billion purchase of Fox.
Right.
Um, I think this one has potential to actually get people to come to the theater and watch it.
I think so
Yeah.
too. I think so too. And,
I mean,
and I
everybody's always loved Deadpool. Is kind of it was the first kind of rated R superhero
Mhm.
thing we had. So everybody kind of there's a big group of fans that like the comic reliefness side of it
Mhm.
and the rated R-ness that's kind of adult. So people definitely like Deadpool, and
yeah.
they're people that grew up with Hugh Jackman being Wolverine, so they're also gonna bring those fans in too as
Yeah.
well.
If you guys don't have any other thoughts, I do have another question to kind of round out this live show here.
Okay.
So I believe this is the week that Mission Impossible is coming out, right?
Mhm.
Oh
A lot
yes,
of
it is.
people, a lot of people, a lot of the critic scores and the test viewings are going really well. You guys have any predictions for Mission
Eh,
Impossible? How it's gonna look? Is Mission Impossible gonna bury the Sound of Freedom in the theaters? Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
no, I don't think so. Only because the Sound of Freedom is getting hype now, and I think there's still gonna be like this group of, I guess, like a Christian type audience that are gonna go see Sound of
Mhm.
Freedom. That's gonna pick up and still get a little bit bigger this weekend,
Mhm.
and then I think it'll die down. So this weekend, I think we'll see some people watching Mission, but I think it'll be more popular in the next weekend. It'll
Right.
take a weekend for Mission Impossible
The
to kind of get going.
the word of mouth, I think, is really strong with Sound of
Yeah.
Freedom, and as we've seen in the past, the word of mouth really keeps a movie going.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, yeah, no, I would agree with Josh. I mean, I I don't think Mission Impossible really has any competition other than Sound of Freedom right now.
I
Um,
mean, Mission Impossible. I mean, never mind. That's blasphemous. I can't say that.
Not on a live.
I think the Sound of Freedom and the Mission Impossible movie are gonna make less of a competition, more of a good pairing for people to go see this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I just think there's still like Wyatt said, and what I was kind of reiterating. It's Sound of Freedom is going to be word of mouth, and the people who are hearing that it's good are still going to be going to watch it. So
Mhm.
Right.
that's what I think. But Mission Impossible, we'll get some views before Oppenheimer and Barbie come out.
All right. I have no idea. I'm excited to see how it does. I'm definitely watching Mission Impossible
Mhm.
100% and Oppenheimer, and I'm not watching Barbie in theaters. That sounds crazy
I don't
to
know. I've
me.
heard a lot of people are wanting to go watch it. I've been
I
hearing
Yeah.
saw
people talk
something
about it.
I saw something that said, from, I think, Fandango website, 20,000 people have reserved tickets for both Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Wow,
20,000?
Mhm.
That's still not gonna
that's
cut it.
not a lot,
No,
but
that's people who have
So
on
they're doing
yeah.
both.
Fandango at least are doing both. That's not counting the individuals who got Barbie and the individuals who got Oppenheimer and the individuals who don't use Fandango.
Right.
Yeah,
I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm
we
looking
will.
forward to seeing
We
this
will.
bloodbath.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be a wild it's gonna be a wild month,
it
definitely.
it is. And keep watching our lives on Monday night, and maybe we'll give you some, sneak peeks of what we watched over the weekend. So
Right.
be watching out for that.
Later,
Oh,
everybody. Thanks for
I guess that
joining
was it.
us, and subscribe to the channel, like the video. We'll see you next time.